Apart from picking up the pieces and rebuilding lives, local governments and quake-affected residents will also have to work on restoring damaged historical structures very soon. To tell us more about how and why we should preserve heritage sites, joining us now is architect Jeffrey Cobilla of Escuella Taller de Filipinas Foundation, a heritage restoration group. Architect, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We've seen from that report of David Santos, some historic sites and tourist attractions were not spared by the quake that shook Luzon on Wednesday morning. From your experience, how big a task is it to restore and rehabilitate the damage?
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for having us. Yeah, the task varies. No, I'm gonna look at it at in two perspectives or two directions. When you have big problem, of course, you have bigger tasks at hand. Smaller problems, of course, will require you smaller resources. So, but with what we've seen and what we've experienced within the our lifetime, no, it's really big. It's really a big task to restore, rebuild these structures, especially when they got damaged with this kind of earthquake with this magnitude, particularly with their current state of conservation.
All right. Escuela Taller de Filipinas is a conservation group, and you've already fixed some historical sites. Can you name a few for us, please, architect?
Yeah, we've just finished the main facade of the old La Loma Cemetery Chapel. We're currently doing the St. Polycarp Parish in Cobilla, and we're also doing Luneta Hotel right now, and we're also helping the Manawag Basilica preserve their old convent there.
And with your group's experience on rehabilitating, restoring iconic structures, with what you've seen right now, the damage, how soon should these historical and iconic sites be fixed? Can it wait a year, several years until there's more funding, or should it be done as soon as possible?
As much as possible, no. If they can be addressed quickly, especially we've seen there are swarms of aftershocks, and these structures still pose some hazards. No, hopefully they can those hazards can be removed as soon as possible, and then fix whatever can be fixed right away. But I've seen the authorities are doing their inspections, and I think what we should do is prioritize, no, according to the risk factors of these structures.
You mentioned the word prioritize, no, because there are still quite a number that really need a lot of help, from the Bantay Bell Tower, Ilocos Sur, Bantay Ilocos Sur, Vigan Cathedral, Santa Maria Church, San Lorenzo Ruiz Shrine, among others. So what should be prioritized are the iconic sites that are mostly the ones that have the most damage.
Well, for paramount, of course, is safety, no, of human lives. So we would approach it that way. We would address the structures that has the highest risk to ensure that no more lives or no more further damage will happen.
With some of the structures that you mentioned that Escuela Taller de Filipinas has restored, and with what kind of damage we're seeing right now from these iconic heritage sites, can you give us a ballpark figure of how much it would cost to rehabilitate and restore?
Rico, it's really difficult to give a figure for our heritage structures, for the cost of their conservation, for rebuilding, restoration, because again, their cases are all different. No, we've seen a variety or a different levels of or severity of damage, it's difficult to peg a cost for that. Especially, we don't have enough information as of the moment to the actual damage. No, so it's really difficult to give a figure for this kind of scenarios.
But of course, there
At
are
least
other.
for this moment.
But architect, in the past, no, there have also been a lot of iconic structures in other provinces that have been hit by typhoons and by earthquakes, where churches and iconic structures have been destroyed or damaged. How long does it usually take to fix these structures from your experience? And what kind of personnel do you need?
Okay, so for example, no, we did also Malati Church. So that was a 5-year program. The current project in Cabuyao now, the program is 1 year. La Loma Cemetery Chapel was programmed for 8 to 9 months, and we needed really skilled workers, no, especially those who are trained in traditional trades. No, so that they're because these structures require appropriate and compatible materials, building technologies to properly restore them. So that's the usual case in at least on our experience.
What kind of technology do you need for, let's say, restoring a Malati church? That didn't have any damage, but it took 5 years to restore.
Yeah, deceiving, no? So, but upon during the course of the restoration of Malati Church, we discovered a lot more damage and defects than what we saw initially. So it was a challenge because we didn't expect that kind of damage, but because our group focuses on training people on how to fix this kind of structures. So that's why I think we did a success. We did that project successfully.
So basically, with this kind of damage that we're seeing in some major cathedrals and churches in the north, it wouldn't even it would take definitely at the minimum 5 years or more to restore and to rehabilitate these churches.
Yeah, we can maybe we can be reminded of what happened in Bohol, no? The severity, we have different levels of severity there. So some of them were just reopened several years ago, and the earthquake happened in 2013. So then again, depending on the level of severity, that would dictate the time and the resources needed to restore these old structures.
Architect, thank you so much for sharing your insights and for your knowledge with all of us and for our viewers. Architect Jeffrey Cobilla of Heritage Restoration Group Escuela Taller de Filipinas Foundation.